Hey, welcome everyone. Thank you all for joining this last Patient Family Engagement for Equity think tank of 2023. I can't believe it. This year has blown by. I hope you are all ready for the holidays and the new year that is approaching very, very quickly. I'm Lindsay Galley. I'm the Vice President of Programs at PFCC Partners. Again, if you're new here, we are the Patient Family Engagement for Equity subcontractors for Cynosure HQIC and have brought all things patient family engagement for equity to all of your hospitals, the state hospital associations, and this project as a whole. We have covered so much over the last few years and specifically this year as well. And so I just thank you all for continuing to be a part of this amazing work. If you wouldn't mind at this time to please introduce yourself in the chat, who you are, your role, and what hospital you are from. Would love to see who all is with us today. So I'll give everyone a minute to do that while I quickly describe the think tanks for anyone who is new here. These think tanks are a monthly opportunity to connect online and learn from one another. You know, we know that there is so much amazing work going on in patient family engagement for equity at each of your hospitals. So this is really a chance for all of you to learn and share with one another. We have learned and shared a lot over this last year, and I just thank everyone who has been so active in all of these discussions. These are for really anyone. If you are a patient family engagement lead or any team members who are actively engaging patients and families or interested in engaging
branches down there had a lot of vacation
work, this is the place for you. And just another reminder that the phone lines or Zoom lines are open. And that's to make sure that you all have the opportunity to come off mute and share. But if you do have any background noise, please mute yourself if you're not sharing. Again, these happen the second Wednesday of the month, the same time, same place, 10 a.m. Pacific time or 1 p.m. Eastern time. We will continue these think tanks throughout the end of this contract, which is, you know, over the next, I think, 8 or so months. So our next meeting will be in January in 2024 on Wednesday, January 10th. We'll kick off the new year with even more really valuable conversations with one another. All right, I saw some introductions in the chat. We have Shelly from Cookeville Regional Medical Center in Tennessee. Hi, Nicole from Broward Health, Imperial Point in Florida. Jana from Coffeyville Regional Medical Center. Andrea, Hospital of Bremen in Indiana. So many, I can't get through everybody. Hi, Tasha from Cibola General Hospital in New Mexico, and Lynn from Louisiana Hospital Association. Awesome. And hello, Peggy from Sydney Health Center in Montana. Great. Thank you all again for joining. All right, so for this last think tank of the year, I'd like to leave lots of space for all of you to reflect on the last year, specifically around patient family engagement for equity. Would love to hear, you know, what you're most proud of. You know, what are some of your favorite projects or programs that, you know, you've been a part of that have engaged patients and family caregivers, or, you know, where are you at in the process of moving forward with creating strategies to engage patients and family caregivers in your work? Just love to do some reflection. And then do a little look forward into the new year. Really interested to hear your goals around PFEE and what you need in order to achieve them. But first, I just wanted to give you all a quick gift of gratitude. I am so grateful for all of the hospital participants and state hospital associations and patients and family caregivers who have been a part of these think tanks every month over the last year. We have covered a lot of topics over the summer. We really focused on care transitions in these think tanks. So talked about the admissions process and bedside rounding and really specifically the discharge process and how that all contributes to coordinated care. We kicked off the year with talking really specifically about creating patient-family engagement for equity infrastructure within your hospitals. What does an effective infrastructure look like? And, what does recruitment for patient-family partners look like at your hospital on, any level? So I just want to thank you all for what you have contributed to these conversations and looking forward to continuing these conversations into the new year. So thank you. All right. With that, because I know these go really quickly because we only have 30 minutes, want to get right to our discussion and reflection. So I'd love to just open up the line and welcome anyone who would like to share something that you're proud of in 2023. And, this could be related to patient-family engagement for equity. That would be great. But if you have personal accomplishments as well, please share those. Would love to just give everyone the time to do a little reflection. So I'll open it up. Who would like to share what's something you're most proud of this year, or any favorite projects or programs that you've been a part of? Anyone? Quiet group today. I don't know about you, but as the year kind of winds down, I get a little lethargic as well. So maybe we all need another cup of coffee or a few minutes to think about all of the things that we've accomplished that we've been proud of. No one has anything? Oh, Sister Cheryl, raising patient satisfaction scores by 2%. That is something to be very proud of. That's really exciting. I'm curious, Sister Cheryl, if you can attribute that to anything like improvement projects or patients and families being engaged in projects, anything like that. But of course, seeing those scores go up is always exciting. And please feel free to come off mute if you'd like to share. Oh, bedside shift reports. Awesome. So implementing bedside shift reports, you saw a raise in patient satisfaction scores. And yeah, that is definitely something we talked about a lot through the development of the Ready, Set, Go tool that is available to all of your hospitals, is, just creating enhancements around processes that you already have implemented at your hospitals, but enhancing them to, engage patients or their family caregivers within those processes. So being able to engage those patients and family caregivers through bedside shift reports is extremely beneficial for, obviously, the hospital itself, raising those patient satisfaction scores, but also the patients and family caregivers involved. Thank you for sharing. Anyone else with something you're proud of? Well, I'll share that I'm really proud of, we do one-on-one coaching with hospitals. So I've met with multiple hospitals over this last year who, they have recognized the need to engage patients and family caregivers specifically in the
Yes.
improvement work.
The report.
But they have also recognized, the challenges and barriers, especially in smaller critical access hospitals. And I'm proud that, those hospital staff who have the passion and motivation around patient family engagement can also recognize, the pace at which they need to take to develop patient family engagement for equity programs, and really moving at a pace that works for them and doing small tests of changes to engage patients and families. Like one hospital that I've talked to recently, they started doing discharge phone call interviews. And this was actually something that came through the hospital listserv recently. And I forgot who had shared the script that they used, but just asking patients about their experience, whether it was in the ER or through the discharge process, and then using that information to inform improvements around those processes. So actively, we're calling it moving.
Hey, Tori, this is Teresa. In case
From story to strategy. So you're hearing the stories, hearing the experiences, and then implementing those into developing strategies to meet those challenges and barriers that we hear from patients. So that's something that I've been really proud to see as hospitals moving forward with even just small steps to engage patients and family caregivers. Anyone else, anything else to reflect on and celebrate over the last year? Well, I know that you all have a lot to be proud of. I know you all wear many, many hats and, contribute a lot to the health and healthcare of patients and family caregivers within your community. So I encourage you to, even if it's not right now, but sometime before the end of the year, to just do some reflection and think about things that have been accomplished. I said in my invitation message, we move so fast all year and rarely take that kind of step back in time to look overall at the progress that we have made, especially with patient family engagement for equity, because things can sometimes move a little bit slower than we'd like. So just important to take that time to reflect. Well, maybe you all have thoughts about moving into 2024. what are some of your hospital's goals around patient-family engagement for equity in the new year? Are you looking to develop a patient-family advisory council at your hospital? Are you looking, I don't know, to start a series of listening sessions with patients and family caregivers around a specific topic? What are some of those goals that you have for the new year? And maybe it's not a goal yet, it's a thought or an idea that maybe we can bring into 2024. Oh, and thank you, Annette. Yes, reflection and celebration is so important. Yes. Everyone deserves that pat on the back sometimes, even if it's for yourself. Let's see, Andrea. Andrea, HCAP's improvement regarding care transitions. Gotcha. So that's a goal within the new year. And there are, and I'm sure you've seen a lot of it, but lots of great resources coming out of Cynosure HQIC around care transitions. We can share the Ready, Set, Go tool that I had mentioned with some of those enhancements around care transitions, but there was also a menu of improvement ideas, multiple menus of improvement ideas that came out of the care transition series summer camp over the summer. So happy to send those out again as a reminder of some things that you can consider implementing within the new year. And Sister Cheryl, Sister Cheryl rolled out a program to give high S or GEM awards to coworkers to improve recognition, is what I'm hearing. That sounds like a great program. And Andrea, it would help to have more patients participate in the HCAP surveys. We have a small response rate. Gotcha. That is participation in the HCAPS surveys. We've heard that challenge with a lot of other hospitals that only a small percentage complete those surveys. And I'd be curious if, if your hospital has a patient family advisory council, or, can you create opportunities around, patients and family caregivers who can share why or why not they why they have completed the survey, or what stops them from completing the survey. Because I think with those surveys too, you get the really, really good or the really, really not so good as well. But there's so much to learn through those in-between experiences. So it sounds like maybe increasing the response rates would be a really good goal too. And I feel like recently I've heard of a program or a project that worked on that, but I'm not remembering off the top of my head. So I'll have to do a little work and would be happy to share.
Andrea at Raymond.
Hi, Andrea.
And I think our biggest difficulty is we have, being a critical access hospital, rural Indiana,
Mm-hmm.
our average patient population is about 80 years old.
Right. Okay.
For inpatient and skilled swing bed. So a lot of the surveys are completed not by the patient, but family member. And so I'm not sure we're always getting the patient perspective.
You're getting the family member
Sometimes.
perspective.
We have tried to include family members, especially in our swing bed program, which is that short stay rehab kind of program. Trying to include family members in a weekly rounding and calls related to medications and those kind of things. But it is difficult. The squeeze is there between caregivers also working or having commitment. So it's
Yeah. Yeah, that definitely sounds like a challenge, and it looks like Katrina put in the chat as well. Our community has I said survey fatigue, excuse me, surveys for ER, inpatient, and clinic. They've been doing this for years and have are really tired, even though they understand why it's important to us. They do rounding, advising them that they will get it, but they just do not want it. Yeah, and I think we can all relate to that survey fatigue. I think about, well, 'tis the season, you know, all the online shopping you do, and then your email gets flooded with all of the surveys. How was your experience? How was the product that you got? Um, which I ignore all of those as well. But yeah, and Katrina, you share, even though they know why it's important, that's still not happening. I'm curious if this could potentially be a conversation. So through Cynosure HQIC, we have the Patient Family Partnership Council. And these are experienced patients and family caregivers who, you know, have experiences receiving those HCAHPS surveys or any other surveys from the health systems or hospitals that they've received care at. So this might be an interesting conversation as we move into 2024 to have with, you know, the patients and family caregivers that we're already partnering with to get their perspective, because it does give you some really valuable information. I appreciate you all sharing that. So a lot around patient experience. Anything else as we move into 2024? Oh, and Annette shares, I've heard of an organization discussing having an iPad for completion prior to leaving the building. I think that might have been what I had heard too, Annette. Yeah, so thinking kind of creatively about how we can meet people or receive their experiences before they even leave the hospital. Yeah, because once you're home and you're getting back to life, you kind of want to forget that you had that time at the hospital. That's an interesting concept. Anyone else with thoughts on either additional goals into 2024, this discussion about HCAHPS surveys, anything that others have tried and things that have worked? Some of you might be taking a minute to chat in, which we appreciate. So please keep those chats coming, but would love to continue this conversation into 2024. And so what we look at patient experience as is an outcome that all of your hospitals are looking to achieve as a positive patient experience for all of your patients. And we look at patient family engagement for equity as the strategy that can be used to help inform that outcome. So whether it is, you know, increased response rates for surveys, or even increasing the actual scores for specific metrics on that survey, we can utilize patient family engagement for equity as that strategy to meet the goals that you have around the patient experience. So would love to, if it's of interest to others, and it sounds like a few of you have goals around patient experience, we can continue this conversation into 2024. But please continue to share if you have other goals or thoughts and ideas around HCAHPS surveys as well. One tool that I would like to leave you with as we're thinking about 2024 planning is an affinity exercise. And some of you might be familiar with this, some of you may not. But this is a start or a stop, start, continue exercise. And we've done this in a lot of groups, whether it be in person or virtually on Zoom. But essentially, you know, you have your key team, everyone that are key players in whether you're working on a specific project or, you know, your hospital as a whole, and thinking about how you want to move into a new year. You give everyone a bunch of sticky notes. And again, you can use virtual platforms as well if you work virtually, but also works incredibly in person. But everybody gets a bunch of sticky notes, and in 3 minutes, they write down all of the things that you want to stop doing when you get into the new year. So you could come up with 5 or more things that your hospital wants to stop doing to achieve the goals that you have. And then everybody puts their sticky notes on the stop poster. And then you do the same thing for start and continue. So give everybody 3 minutes to write down everything that we need to start doing as an organization to meet our goals, and put those up there. And then there may be, and there typically are, things that are working really well for your hospital. So what are those things that, you know, you need to continue doing as a hospital? And whether it's, you know, continuing to enhance those care transition processes, you know, continuing to engage patients and family caregivers within those processes, whatever that might be. So same thing, give three minutes for everybody to write down things that as a hospital you want to continue. And then from there, you can take all of the things you want to start and continue and utilize those to create plans to further, whether it's patient family engagement for equity or other areas of improvement at your hospital as you move into the new year. So this time, again, it's a great time for reflection and celebrating, but I know we're all also thinking about 2024 and what that's going to look like. So wanted to provide you with a tool that you can either take to your hospitals or even use personally as well, you know, in your personal life. Are there things you need to stop, start, or continue doing to ensure that you move into the new year in the best shape you can, whatever that means for you. All right. Well, please let me know if you have any questions. My email is there and our office phone number. Please feel free to reach out before the end of the year if you'd like to schedule some time in the new year to chat one-on-one, and as you start to plan out your goals for the new year. And I am taking this HCAPS conversation with me as well, and we'll talk internally with our team about bringing that to the Patient Family Partnership Council to continue to provide additional ideas for all of you around this topic, because it is really important and very challenging, as I could see from your comments. So really appreciate you all sharing with me, and please reach out anytime. And with that, I'll just leave you all with very, very happy holidays. Again, thank you so much for this year of contribution to really important discussions, including this one today. I know these go really quick, but we learn a lot in just 30 minutes from each other. So I thank you all for spending a quick 30 minutes with me, and I hope you all have a very, very happy holidays. We'll follow up with this recording and additional resources that I talked about during today's session as well. So thank you so much. See you all in the new year. Thank you, Annette. Thanks, Tasha. Thanks, Andrea. Thank you, Lynn and Rebecca and Ramona. Appreciate you all. Take care, everybody.